a feeling of disconnection from my voice. Um, I've had quite a deep voice growing up, but I've always tried to have a much higher voice and thought that that's kind of more likable and um, more singable, enjoyable. So I think over time I've been slightly disconnected from my voice and trying to sing out of my body, basically. Um, and I've also been highly critical. I think that's been something I've navigated for quite a long time, is being highly critical of my voice and not necessarily playing that easily. I feel far more accepting and celebrative of my voice. Um, I feel like I've expanded into a new space, like I've got more range. Because I think I was always trying to sing up here. I was ignoring all of this juicy bottom bassy section. Um, and so I've been able to discover my unique aspects to my voice and actually work with those, and not as opposed to trying to be like someone else. Actually, yeah, be more in my body, more in myself, more celebrative of myself. So that's been a huge plus, and I think a lot of that's come through just the daily practices um, and playing, like especially the lip drills and the things that like the nya 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 nya, the things that like help me come back into my body and actually like relax. Um, yeah, even still now, I can see a lot of my practices to relax into my body, and as soon as I'm getting more tense, I can come back to these practices to become slower and less stressed, less stressed out. What I appreciated was the whole approach um, to vocal training. It wasn't just vocal training in terms of okay, you got to hit this note, and there was this background story because I knew that my story necessarily was more held in my body, and so to access that part, which is not just going to come through in a very technical lesson, was very attractive to me. To be able to understand the stories and to be able to hold that with a tenderness. Yeah, and so for a long time, even the beginning of the course was a lot more of that work that was being done, understanding the critical voice that comes in and how to have that conversation with that voice. And um, yeah, I think that's definitely what attracted me. I like the fact that it was online and doable in my own time as well, um, and that it had that group container. So although it was online, it also had a live container that we could hear other people's experience and reflect and witness and get insight and share. So I think that was also a good one. Finance, but like underneath that is probably more the question of like, am I worth it? Is this worth it? Like taking the leap helped me value myself in a way that I should do more. I think just having various techniques to also enable me to speak properly, publicly, create content, video content, speak poetry, all those other aspects that involve my voice. I feel like my vocal range has extended, like since beginning of my scale practices, and now I feel like I'm able to hit the higher note and able to maybe stretch it a little bit further again, and also the deeper ones. um, I can feel like my breath, my lung capacity has increased. I'm able to play more. I think I feel like that's a big takeaway, that I feel more confident in playing. I'm like more relaxed in my voice. So that I'm starting a relationship with my voice has been quite a powerful one. Actually, like knowing that I have this relationship to my voice. It's not um, so separate from me. And in the end, just being far more embodied, far more whole being was a lot of my intention. So yeah, I feel like I've been able to become that in this process, far more whole and embodied in myself. Um, yeah, and I think another big takeaway was actually the seasons coming literally from my head down into my body. I've been able to actually do that through the season map. and realize where I am and what the outer world is demanding of me and what I could do in order to compensate for those, or vice versa. So that's been a really, really helpful one, even to express to my partner. I'm actually in this season right now. It's like really helpful to be able to say, this is where I am, and to then have the map of what to expect for the future as well. So, for example, we went into winter here in Cape Town, and I felt internally like I wanted to just be in the studio working on my own personal paintings, but at the same time, I was on a larger job that had a more summary feel to it, and I could see that I was experiencing this tension. I was kind of angry at people in my close sphere, and to know like that's what that's why I was kind of angry and tense gave me the tools to approach it with more consciousness, I guess, and more presence. So I would play more calming music while I painted my mural, for example, or just even acknowledging, okay, once I have finished this project, things are going to shift and change. And I was very close to the end of that project. So yeah, the seasons map has been super beneficial. I think I will for sure relate to that as I journey on. I'm now towards the end of winter. I can start to see things are like shaping, forming. Or maybe even in the throes of winter and loving life in the studio. And I'm not going to necessarily pick up a big job if it comes my way, or I might prolong the date to execute it. I'm an artist who works with various different modalities, from painting to poetry to like art processes of the subconscious to mural painting and then music. So I think as I navigate the future, I will be able to take note more of what season I'm in, and then what art form is appropriate for that season, whether it's poetry or music, whether it's writing music or going out and trying to find gigs. Um, yeah, so I think it's been really beneficial in that way. And I think for my voice, that this course wasn't just about singing, but also just being more connected to my voice and more embodied in my voice, and actually in my throat chakra in a way, so that I can communicate my offerings better, my poetry better, my social media content, videos, narrations for films to come, that kind of thing. To be able to be more connected to my voice has been really important for me. I think there was a specific moment actually when I um, just brought up my guitar. My partner was in the bath, and I went into the bathroom with her, and I sat in the toilet, and I started playing some of the songs that were written together, but um, I started singing them in a new way, in a way that was embracing of my like deeper side, and not trying to match her beautiful high angelic um, way that she has. And I could literally like, I think, one, through my partner's response being so positive, like, whoa, I love this, this is amazing. um and I could just feel something else was happening inside myself. It was just, I just felt like a door unlocking in that moment. So I think that was a surprise to be like, well, you actually like this, and this is likable. um yeah, I think that was pretty profound. I would recommend BLM to anyone that feels their mission on life is to express themselves, but for some or other reason have been um, told otherwise, or taken a belief on that can't be the case. So I think that was my journey. So anyone that's feeling like they're stuck in expressing themselves, and need the tools and support to be able to get unstuck. Yeah, I can say I love my voice. I feel like it's still a work in progress, but it's fine. I feel like I've overcome a large hurdle in this process. Um, and if anything, I'm just now sitting with the the fact that it also takes work and practice and refinement and dedication in that space to really see the results grow like exponentially. And I'm sure there will be more of these hurdle moments that I transcend. Like I am more celebrity of my voice, more embodied in my expression, um, and that I can see that practice pays off